Welcome to Local SEO in 10. This is your go-to podcast for answers about how you can grow your local business online easily and quickly. Brought to you by local SEO experts Magnified Media in Walnut Creek, California. In each 10-minute episode, our digital marketing expert Adam Duran answers your questions on how you can get more leads for your business fast. Remember, if you're not taking care of this part of your business right now, you can bet your competitors are. And now, here's our host with the questions, Jamie Duran, and our expert with the answers, Adam Duran.
Hello, Adam.
Hey, Jamie.
All right, back for another episode of Local SEO in 10.
That's right. I'm all fired up.
All
Fired up.
Oh, good. And
Yes.
all your travels, you must have used Google and Yelp and ChatGPT for all of your exciting adventures.
I did. Well, not Yelp, but yes. The other ones, of course.
Oh, good. Good. How did it work out?
Awesome. I highly recommend, Jamie, using ChatGPT to plan the itinerary of your next trip because it was pretty on top of it.
Okay.
And, yeah, it was shockingly accurate and amazing. So, yeah.
Okay.
Traveling 20 years ago as opposed to now when you have Google Maps, wow.
Yeah.
I can't imagine doing that trip that I just got off of without Google Maps. I mean, it was just, boy, very easy now. Very, very easy.
Yep. I completely agree. And we
All right.
could do a whole episode on
That's somebody else's podcast, not this one.
All right.
Today, we're going to talk about basically a question that I get asked by business owners is building my online presence really worth it? As opposed to just paying for Google ads and fingers crossed, dealing with that kind of influx of crazy person calls. Jamie's so familiar with.
We have our share.
So today, I'm going to talk about is building your online presence really worth it? And then why, in my opinion, it does bring you way better leads than all of the other ad platforms. So the first benefit of building your organic presence. Let me define that. So that way, if you're new to the podcast, organic presence is basically if somebody types in best solar company near me, then that list of companies that comes up, that's an organic list of the best solar companies according to Google, right? And those are the ones that don't have ad or sponsored or Google guaranteed next to them. These are the ones that organically are on the top of your search browser. Got it?
Yep.
Okay. So most people think that that's random, that those businesses are put up there at random. It's not. It's a big process to get there. But just so you know, if you're a first-time listener, how you get your business there is building your authority and your geographic relevancy. So we've done podcasts on that topic before, so just do a quick search and you'll find some of those. Okay?
Yep.
So number one, big benefit is the cost effectiveness long-term of building up your organic presence. So what I mean by that is if you're paying for Google ads or any ad, you're paying for those ads. And when you stop paying, those ads go away, right? Your visibility will go to zero. However, if you are building up your authority organically, that organic presence tends to, if you're doing it correctly, grow and grow and grow. So you get to that point where, wow, your competitors will say, I see them everywhere. So whenever I search for any permutation of whatever keyword, whatever for solar installer or solar company or solar expert, I always see so-and-so's company up. I want to have that happen for my company. So that long-term effective strategy and that placement, that visibility comes from building your organic presence. So that's super important, right? For dominating your local market. Also, another reason you want to do that is to build your organic presence is you're building up the credibility and trust of your business. What I mean by that is, Jamie, when's the last time you clicked on an ad?
Never.
Right.
Never.
So
Never.
most people, they have a innate aversion to clicking on anything that says sponsored or ad because they know something, it's not most likely going to be the best result for what they're looking for. So it's I don't know. I've used Yelp countless times where I'm like, oh no, my tire just went out. So I look up like tire repair, and the number one result, I've clicked on it, and then I'm like, oh, that's 25 miles away from me.
Or they're not open.
What the hell? They're not near me. Yeah, so that has happened to me, and I went, oh wait, oh boy. All right, so back. But anyway, so that long-term credibility and trust that you're building up by building your organic presence means that you circumvent that. People are more likely to click on those results that don't have the sponsored or the guaranteed or whatever Google ad little mark next to it. So, make sense so far?
Yeah.
Okay. So another really important reason you want to be building up your organic presence is on your social platforms like Facebook or Instagram. Say you're a restaurant, by posting about your events or your specials and then responding to customers like who comment on any of that stuff, you're building a relationship with them. You're making them feel seen, and you're making your business feel more trusted and reliable. That means they're more likely to come to you because, I think maybe, we all kind of innately want to do business with businesses that we know, like, and trust. And so that's how you can build that up on those social platforms, is building up that know, like, and trust factor by responding to reviews, by commenting or replying to every comment on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube or TikTok. All of those things, every one of those responses is valuable because that person who wrote that comment or review, they took the time out of their lives. What's more valuable than their time? They did that to kind of reach out and make a connection with your business. So you'd always want to build that relationship. Good?
Of course, yeah.
All right. Next one, obviously, if most of your competitors, if you're listening to this podcast, most of your competitors aren't doing this. They're not building up their online presence because it takes time, it takes effort, it takes energy, and it takes intent. So all of those things mean that by doing this, working on your business's online presence, you're going to have a competitive advantage. And obviously that comes from being way more visible than your competition, being a more trusted source for your service because of that. And that whole thing about, I see them everywhere. That is what we love our clients to say about their own business. Like they went to a networking group and somebody said, oh, wow, I see your business everywhere. That's awesome. Very, very fun to hear because that they know that means it's not just, the cold hard reporting data. That's, they love hearing it from other people that don't know them say that, especially if it's a competitor. They're like, hey, how do you do that? How are you doing that? Our clients love hearing that. And then, they'll tell us, and very happy to hear that.
Good. All right.
That's called brand awareness, by the way, Jamie, just to let you know.
Ooh, I'm in the know.
All right. That's 5 reasons why organic presence is something you definitely want to invest in, and doing it something that, like I said, takes time, energy, and intent. You definitely need skill to do it. So if you want to do it yourself, definitely go back in our library of podcast episodes and do some research there, or find an agency who can help you. Make sure that you listen to a podcast about how to choose that agency because there's some bad ones out there. All right. Jamie, any questions?
Well, it is interesting because you definitely brought up so many different things, but with the organic versus it feels like you've just blown the lid off of the entire marketing methods of all these search engines and Facebook. And if nobody's clicking on these ads, then why are they there? It just seems that somebody has to be clicking on these ads.
Well, as a business owner, or a company or whatever, whenever you're talking about your marketing budget, a lot of times a business won't have the in-house people who are skilled enough to do this. Even larger companies, if they're hiring a marketing department or a marketing manager, most of them have been doing whatever position they're in. They've been in that position for years. And unfortunately, this industry, it cycles so quickly in terms of what works that 5 years ago, the things that people were doing for organic presence are zero burgers now. And so those people who are in those jobs, of those mid-level marketing manager jobs or whatever, they don't want to outsource because they're scared that their job will get replaced, right? And they're very scared of that. So their number one job is not helping the company. Their number one job is keeping their job. So bringing in an outsourcing an agency to do this is something that, that's scary for them. And so I understand that. We've definitely made many marketing managers look awesome, but it is, I'm sure, it's very scary for them, because to bring in someone else, it's easier just to say, hey, let's just do Google Ads. That's what it all comes down to. It's easier for that business to just say, hey, we'll put a budget of whatever, $500 a month to Google, and then we'll ride that wave. If my boss says, hey, why isn't this working? I'll say, okay, we're going to change something. I'll look up, I'll ask ChatGPT how to make it better. Same with a business owner. This is not something that they're, that's not why they're in business. If you're a dentist or lawyer, to learn Google Ads, or to do any of this. So, Google Ads is probably the easiest thing you can do, and they're always trying to make it easier. So that's why they kind of work, in terms of, one out of every 10 or 15 leads from Google Ads is okay.
Okay.
That's rough.
So I guess at some point, the one guy who comes in and answers his boss of, hey, why are we spending so much money on this Google if it's not working? He said, oh, we'll try something else, boss. And then another year later, he said, so how's that going? Well, we'll try something. You're fired.
I have a new job, boss. Talk to you later.
Pretty much. Yeah, I guess so. But I guess that's why. So it's just a big flim flam. That's what you're saying.
Well, it's when your number one job is to protect your job, Jamie. I guess everyone is motivated by different things than we are. So with an agency like mine, we definitely have to stay on top of this, because instead of one boss, we have hundreds, right? Mm-hmm. So if we're not on top of this, then they'll leave to find somebody else or some other company who is on top of it. So when you go with an agency, especially one that's been around, it has great reviews, all that stuff, you want to make sure that you have to understand they are in the business of staying on top of this. It's like going to a CPA, and you expect them to know current tax law, right? Mm-hmm. And so, if they don't, then you're like, oh boy, that just got me in trouble. Great. Same with the marketing. You want to have a marketing agency that you can trust, that knows the local business, local SEO, definitely has great reviews, all the things that we've talked about, and how you can choose one.
Well, that sounds great, and definitely good information. Thanks for answering that question as well.
Sure.
I'm sure you'll be visited by the Google police any time now. But,
I hope not.
But with that, anything else?
No, that's it, Jamie. Thank you.
All right. We will wrap it up there. Adam, thanks for your time with this topic and all of the other topics that you've addressed in local SEO. If you have a question about this topic, go to our website, magnifiedmedia.net, click on the podcast button, enter your search term there. Chances are there's probably 2 or 3 other podcasts with that topic. Or if not, go to our LinkedIn or Facebook page, send us a message there at Local SEO in 10, and we'll try to address it in a future podcast. And then wherever you're listening to this podcast, you can give us thumbs up, 5 stars. That would be great. And if you know a business owner that is struggling with their SEO or does spend a ton of money on Google Ads, send them our way or send them this podcast, and then we're happy to talk to them from there. But Thank you for listening. We appreciate all of our listeners, and we will talk to you next week.
That's all for now. Thanks for listening to this episode of Local SEO in 10 with Google local marketing expert Adam Duran. Join us each week for answers to your questions on how to best harness the power of the internet to grow your business. Speaking of questions, got some? Message us through our Facebook page, Local SEO in 10, and we'll be sure to give you your answer on an upcoming episode. This episode of Local SEO in 10 is brought to you by Magnified Media, the leading online marketing agency in Northern California, who invite you to grow your business by magnifying your online visibility and credibility. Visit them on the web at www.magnifiedmedia.com. Magnify your business, magnify your profits.